the Nexus as we have a look at issue 138 of the Star Trek Starship collection. It is the USS Lantree, another Miranda class starship, but obviously noticeably without the bar along the top. This isn't the last one. I do believe we're getting one more Miranda class. It's more plainer. We'll have a look at the model anyway in just a minute. Let's go through the magazine. So here we have a nice picture of it. It came from season 2, I do believe, season 2 episode Next Generation, but we'll have a little look through. Phase emitters and photon torpedoes, but there's no obviously torpedo or roll bar there. So I would imagine that the torpedoes come up here, or it just has aft. So we have a bit of universe information here. It was mainly operated in Sector Gamma 7, where the Enterprise found its distress call and went to it. It's a fairly old ship. I think it entered service 2290s, 2360s, around that sort of 2390s to 2365. They were in operation, the Miranda class ships. This one was 2390s, I do believe, and at such time it had been sort of downgraded as such. It just became a supply ship, so it was just ferrying cargo, transport parts and materials, stuff like that, to colonies, star bases. And it basically mainly operated in Sector Gamma 7. It had a crew complement of 26. Normally a ship of this size would have around 200. So it sort of shows you the unimportantness really of its duty and the ship really. Obviously it was important delivering cargo and stuff like that, but it wasn't doing what was its main job, I would imagine, just because I think it's old and it was just easier for that. Obviously it does have phasers and torpedoes, but I would imagine once again they're probably very out of date and wouldn't prove very much in a battle of such. Obviously Lantree met an end. In the episode it gets a virus that makes people age rapidly. It goes to a starbase. The crew get this toxin by mistake, and the ship ages, and in order for the virus not to spread or anything, the Enterprise is forced to destroy it. So anyway, there we have the Lantree there. Yeah, it's a normal Miranda class ship. There's no real difference, like I said, except the roll bar is just not there. Then we have creating the Lantree. So yeah, so when they created the Lantree, they pulled the Reliant model out of storage. It'd been in storage, so this was the first time it had been used since it was the Reliant in the Wrath of Khan, and it'd been in storage for a number of years. When they got it out, they noticed that the lights in the roll bar didn't work, so instead of trying to get it to work, they just literally left it off, hence why it has no roll bar. Then we come on to Star Trek The Next Generation Season 2. So this is looking at Season 2. We had the introduction of Dr. Pulaski and Guinan in Season 2. We obviously got Riker's famous beard and a lot of the crew as well. So we had Worf go to security, Geordi to engineering. Wesley sort of took up more of a bridge role as well. And this just goes along how Pulaski sort of fitted in and how they wanted her to, and she kind of always fell out of place really. And stuff like that. And obviously we have Whoopi Goldberg as Guinan as well. She appeared from Season 2. Yeah, we will be bringing you the Vodwa Fighter, issue 139, so make sure you click to subscribe. It's also the first time we get a name. So Miles O'Brien, there he is there. We never knew his name. He obviously appeared in a few of the first season episodes. In this episode, in the Season 2, we see him in the transporter room, and it's the first time we get his name, his first name, O'Brien. His last name, shall I say, sorry. We don't find out his first name until an episode in the 4th season called Family, where we find out his name is Miles O'Brien. Anyway, that is it. Also, another bit of trivia as well. The bridge that was used for the Lantree was actually the battle bridge for the Enterprise D. just redressed. Anyway, shall we have a look at the model? So this is the Lantree out of the packaging. So I'll move the camera back a little bit. And as you can see, it's just the Miranda class without the roll bar. That is it. So let's take a closer look. It has more of this, I'm going to call it Federation patterning that we get on the Federation ships. It's very pronounced or visible. It's more visible on this one. Yeah, it's actually, this almost looks like a transfer and not paint. If you look very closely on the impulse reactor, I do believe that's what it is. It almost looks like a sort of a sticker, a transfer. Normally they're just painted, but that has given it the sort of the lines in, and the middle section is all sort of blocky, so it looks almost like a transfer. Anyway, so that's a Lantree. Obviously, detailing is the same. It's more detailing around the bridge, I've got to say, as well. It's more of a grey colour than the most of them, though it gets lighter, so you get this darker colour and then it comes lighter underneath. Once again, they've got this sort of, as you can see here, they've got this sort of transfer effect, paint effect. It almost looks like lasered on or something. It looks really, it's very strange, but it's there. Obviously Lantree underneath. Yeah, this bit's more a little bit more detailed than the other ones. We have the shuttle bay 1 and 2, but they're now, the doors are painted blue. Now in the episode they look a little bit blue. That's because they've got this blue light just here shining down. But I wouldn't have put them that blue personally. Obviously I've included the impulse engines, which are nice. Now the nacelles, they have this, they are light sensitive ones, so the light does pass through them. You can actually see it on this nacelle. They're black, but it's like the see-through plastic, but it is there, but it's black almost. But yeah, there's not really much more to say about it. It's just a Miranda class Reliant with no roll bar, and that's it. Personally, kind of glad that it's in the collection, but not. I think they could have not included this, and I think we all would have been happier, or would have been happy if they didn't. That means they might have added, I mean, if they come and they do finish the collection and they've missed out some, you know, this one could have replaced one that we really wanted, maybe. It's just a little, in my eyes, it's a little bit lazy, because they've got the design already. All they've had to do is change the name and take the roll bar off. So it's almost like getting the Reliant, taking the roll bar off and just renaming it, and that's effectively all they've done, except vamp up a few of the paint apps and change the plastic nacelles, colour on the nacelles there. But yeah, Eagle must have done a few like this where you kind of think, yeah, they could have waited. There was more important ones they could have done before this. But anyway, the Lantree is part of the collection. Also as well, I do believe they've run out of Federation ships, so maybe this is why they're doing them. There is another Miranda class to come, but I'm not expecting it to be brilliant. We've seen, you know, 4 now. We've got a 5th one coming. Once it gets to like this kind of thing, the other ones were much more interesting design. This is just quite a boring one with no roll bar. So anyway, if you like Federation ships, pick up. If you're figuring out which Miranda class to go with, like I think the best one personally is the Reliant. But yeah, anyway, that is the Lantree review. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next video.